What's happening? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bite for all the good and bad inside the world of Apple. Now, I just finished learning how to sew a pillow today. So let's get to the show. There are a whole bunch of stories, so let's start off with the latest iWatch rumors. Bloomberg reports that the rumored iWatch could end up launching this year, and according to their source, some of the features under consideration include letting users make calls, see the identity of incoming callers, and check map coordinates. It could also house a pedometer for counting steps and monitor other health-related data with biosensors like some of the patents we talked about a few weeks ago. Now, no one has still confirmed if it will be able to tell time. The Bloomberg report adds the watch market is a lot more lucrative because of its margins that are 4 times greater compared to the TV business. Now, The Verge also chimed in with iWatch rumors, saying that Apple's planning for the watch to run a full version of iOS instead of a simpler OS like the one we saw on the iPod Nano. They say Apple has reworked the full iOS to run on the watch, but prototypes are seeing subpar battery life going for only a couple of days instead of the targeted goal of 4 to 5 days between charges. Now, also, Nick Hayek, the CEO for Swiss watchmaker Swatch, had his own thoughts on the Apple Watch. At Swatch's recent press conference for their annual results, he said, "Personally, I don't believe it's the next revolution. Replacing an iPhone with an interactive terminal on your wrist is difficult. You can't have an immense display." You know, he's absolutely right. See, it really is difficult, and only a few companies in the world could pull it off, like Samsung, Google, and Apple. And no one said they were trying to replace an iPhone with a watch, Mr. Hayek. Denial is not just a river in Egypt. Now, you almost have a feeling Apple is making their iWatch their top priority right now, especially with media content deals slowing down the Apple TV, so we'll keep you posted, and this is definitely something worth watching. In iPhone rumors, rumor site iMore says that Apple is currently planning the iPhone 5S release for sometime in August, and next-gen iPad 5 and iPad mini 2s may debut as soon as April. Now, their sources say the 5S does indeed have the same basic design with a more advanced processor and improved camera. But the Cupertino kids have to do much more than that. Samsung is revealing their Galaxy S4 on March the 14th, and we're expecting big things. Even a revamped iOS under Johnny Ive's direction will not be enough, and they have to bring more than that in the 5S or the iPhone 6 or whatever it's going to be called. And Mac Pro fans, I know you're out there. In a report from Bright Side of News, they say Apple may be developing a 2 terabyte solid-state drive for their next Mac Pro release. Now, the form factors they saw used industry-standard 3.5-inch size drives with a SATA connection. If the new Mac Pros had the same amount of bays for hard drives that they do now, they could potentially stuff 8 terabytes of solid-state storage. Now, we know the new Mac Pros are still expected sometime this year. All right, guys, to the quick bites. Google Maps gets its first iOS update since its launch, including integration with your Google contacts, not Apple contacts, but Google ones, and also a quick search for local places by category like restaurants, bars, and hotels. And if you like fast cars, and if you're in love with the new LaFerrari unveiled at the Geneva Motor Show this past week, Ferrari and Apple are in talks to expand their partnership with in-car entertainment. They wouldn't get into details, but their FF Coupe 4-seater will incorporate a pair of iPad minis into the seats for the use of their rear passengers and direct access to their infotainment system with Siri voice commands. Honestly, I have no idea what I just read because I was watching the video clips. All right, let's announce our Spec Case winners, and thank you to all of you who entered. We asked you, what do you do when you watch the show? And our email winners are Jake D., Vikas Khanna, who watches the show before he sleeps because he finds my voice oddly soothing, Stephen Huang, who tries to style his hair like me, and Julia Mensing, who says she watches because Brian is such eye candy. Apple biters, I didn't make that up. Now, she also says, I can't believe Jamie passed him over to marry another guy. Interesting that the guy she married looks a lot like Brian. Julia, all Asians do not look alike. Well, some do. All right, Twitter winners go to Fernando Ramirez, John Shantz, who said, I try to keep myself awake, and John Sullivan, who tweeted, you know what I do while I watch your show. John, I have no idea. All right, congrats to the winners, and we'll keep bringing you more giveaways all through the season. But that's going to do it for this week's show. Send us your emails to theapplebite@cnet.com. I'll respond to as many as I can. I'm Brian Tong. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time for another bite of the apple.